BJP President Nitin Gadkari now, with doubts being cast about cash inflows into BJP President Nitin Gadkari and his so-called ghost companies. Congress General Secretary Digvijay Singh has written to the Prime Minister demanding that Gadkari be probed on fraud charges. Now, Digvijay Singh has submitted proof of Nitin Gadkari's links with Nagpur-based company Purti Power and Sugar Limited, and he has urged the Prime Minister to ask the Ministry of Corporate Affairs to institute an inquiry into the case. Now, in a letter to the Prime Minister, the Congress General Secretary has said that the Serious Fraud Investigation Office should initiate a probe into these allegations against Gadkari. Digvijay Singh claims that prima facie a case against the BJP president exists, but also adds that Gadkari should be given a fair opportunity to clear his name. Now, this is the first time that any Congress leader has demanded a probe into the issue. This, however, could be a double-edged sword for the Congress government, given its own weak link with the Robert Vadra case as well. Alright, now the latest revelations about BJP President Nitin Gadkari's Purti group of companies has thrown up the name of Manohar Madhavrao Panse. Now, Panse is named as the director of 6 companies, but actually, he's Nitin Gadkari's driver. Now, documents exclusively in possession of Headlines Today show that between 2009 and 2011, Gadkari's driver was the director of as many as 6 companies. Most of these companies allegedly have fake addresses. They haven't done or conducted any business for a long time. The question, however, is how did Panse, being a driver, generate funds to buy shares in Purti Power and Sugar Limited? Was he really a director of these companies, or was he just acting as a conduit for slush funds invested in Nitin Gadkari's companies? Now, as skeletons tumble out of the BJP President Nitin Gadkari's closet and questions are being raised about the Purti group of companies, another company, IRB Infrastructure Developers Limited, is now under the scanner. IRB allegedly gave a loan of 165 crore rupees to Purti Limited to return favor for Maharashtra PWD contracts received when Gadkari was the PWD minister. And the company's rise too is shrouded in mystery. IRB's founder, Dattatraya Mahasekar, is known to be a close aide of NCP chief Sharad Pawar. The company carried out the prominent Mumbai-Pune Expressway project, but interestingly, Nitin Gadkari was the Maharashtra PWD minister when IRB was given the project. That's not all. During Gadkari's tenures as the PWD minister, IRB also got all the entry point toll plazas in Mumbai through a company called Mumbai Entry Point Limited. IRB Private Limited made an investment of 1.85 crore rupees in Gadkari's Purti Sakhar Karkhana in 2001 as well. Now, the latest allegations against Nitin Gadkari have cast a shadow over his second term as BJP president as well, because sources coming out and telling Headlines Today that senior leaders within the BJP are not too keen on extending his term as party president. Sources say that senior BJP leaders met RSS functionaries in Delhi last week, expressed their reservation over Gadkari's extension as party president. Now, the RSS has already issued an ultimatum to Gadkari asking him to come clean on allegations of corruption against him. RSS chief Mohan Bhagwat is expected to make a statement today as well. BJP leaders like Sushma Swaraj, Arun Jaitley have thrown their weight behind Gadkari. This was the day when Arvind Kejriwal had exposed the BJP president's land dealings. But with fresh allegations now emerging, will BJP top brass still stand behind Gadkari? That is the question to be answered. BJP MP Ram Jethmalani has already come out, asked Gadkari to not seek a second term. He has asked the BJP president to quit to save the party from further embarrassment.
If I were in that position, I would resign and spare the party the embarrassment of calling for my resignation. I am not laying down the law for Mr. Gadkari. Gadkari is not my subordinate. Mr. Gadkari is so convinced about his innocence and the frivolity of the charges which are being made against him. He is entitled to that belief, and he is also entitled to act on that belief and say, well, to hell with you people, I am not going to resign. I'll face the music. He is entitled to do that. All I say is that if I were in that position and somebody reasonably important and credible even raised a suspicion about my character, I would quietly resign and ask the party to go ahead with any inquiry they want to make. Now, this is my position. Mr. Gadkari is not bound to follow it, and I am not sure that many political leaders in the country follow it either.
Now, the Sang's ultimatum there for Nitin Gadkari comes after revelations about his ghost companies were made, and now questions also continue to swirl. Questions Gadkari alone can answer. How does a driver, a PA, become a director in companies that invest large sums of money into Gadkari's Purti Power and Sugar Limited? Is there a fraud buried in the elaborate maze of financial transactions? Headlines today went looking for answers, only to realize there are lots amiss.
He's the BJP president who's facing two broad charges. The first, linked to a firm run by this man, DP Maiskar. Gadkari is accused of using his position as Maharashtra PW Minister in 1995 to award contracts to ideal road builders. IRB was then a fairly untested firm promoted by his aide, DP Maiskar. IRB and Maiskar go on to become heavy investors in Gadkari-promoted Purti Power and Sugar Limited. IRB then goes on to give Purti a loan of 164 crore rupees, when the company's turnover was only 140 crores and it was running into heavy losses. Gadkari's son Nikhil is also made a director in IRB. The second broad charge revolves around ghost investors and employees. Headlines today did a special ground investigation.
The investor companies in Purti Group, there are three investor companies called Vidya Buildcon Private Limited, Sanobar Infrastructure Private Limited and Roller Multitrade Private Limited. These three companies, the registered address has been given in the register of companies website is 2nd floor Srinivas House, Hazarimal, Somani Marg. But what headlines today found that in this particular building on the 2nd floor itself, there is no trace of these three companies. So that means three companies have given fake address. In Purti Group, two more investors had put their money. The name is Antika Infrastructure Private Limited and Kathy Infrastructure Private Limited. The registered office which has been shown in the register of companies website is Motibai Wadia Building, SA Brailby Road, Fort Mumbai. This is the building. You can see all the nameplates in this building, but we cannot see any names like Antika Infrastructure Private Limited and Kathy Infrastructure Private Limited.
The small area that you see right here in this chart is the address of the 5 companies that hold shares in Purti Sugar and Power Limited, the company which belongs to Mr. Nitin Gadkari. Let's speak to the person who owns this place. आपका ये घर कितने सालों से है? 40-50 साल से। आप लोगों ने कभी ये घर किसी कंपनी को दिया है? नहीं।
पूर्ति पावर एंड शुगर लिमिटेड कंपनी के बारे में आज जो विभिन्न आरोप लगे, यह सब आरोप बेबुनियाद है और पॉलिटिकली मोटिवेटेड है। इसमें सबसे महत्वपूर्ण बात है कि माननीय श्री नितिन गडकरी जी ने 14 महीने पूर्व ही पूर्ति पावर एंड शुगर लिमिटेड का त्यागपत्र दे दिया।
Since it has come to your domain knowledge, then we told our ministry that you make some discreet inquiry. What exactly is the matter? Are there any violation of the company law?
Gadkari is so far defiant, but as the government warns of a probe, the political damage might already have been done. Bureau Report, Headlines Today.